everybody.
Hello.
It's Amy, and I have a special guest star today on Postcards with Amy and Jeff. This is the one, the only, Alabama Linda.
Hello.
Hello, Linda. So, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, the reason I asked Linda to talk to us is because the other day you heard about our little exploit to Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. Linda actually went on an excursion, and she had quite the experience, so I thought everybody would be interested to hear about it. She showed me her pictures and told me about it, so I wanted to share it with all of you. So, Linda, you got up that morning. What happened?
Well, we waited to get out. We got out to our kind of van buses. They did give us a good deal of information about what to expect, and everything was true.
Okay.
We were going to be in a very rustic setting, and the buses were not what we had been expected previously.
So you didn't have footrests?
No footrest, and the padding was not what we were used to.
Okay.
So luckily I brought my own padding in my body.
Your own padding? Oh.
In my body.
Okay.
Yes, I come with my own padding.
I do that too.
Yes. So
Okay.
they were very crowded in our little, I think it was an 20 seat van. And we had 16, so we filled that van. There also was no air conditioning.
And it was a pretty warm day.
It was a warm day. I believe the temperature was in like the 90s with humidity.
Oh my God.
So that kept us wanting to move. Before we left the port, though, the most interesting thing was there was a lady in her vest, and she was
safety vest,
because we have to be safe here. And she was handing out rolls of toilet paper to each van. The other thing they also explained to us is that the facilities in different areas were probably not up to our standards or what we were used to. That was also true where we went, which was the Coastal Village tour.
Okay. I will tell you, I have a stand-up pee kit that I carry with me, so I am prepared, and we're starting to move into the parts of the world where I'm expecting that the bathrooms might not be to Western standards.
No.
Yes.
So, and I have been to other places where they weren't quite to my standards. I was prepared. I actually did not drink as much water as I probably needed to.
Especially if it's 90.
Yes. And it was, we only had a 4-hour tour, and that was one of the reasons. There was 4 and 5 hour tours. Mm-hmm. There was only 4 tours that day. They were all well attended because they did advise us not to really go off on our own. This is not the most
safe country.
Right.
Yes. State Department said really shouldn't go. Mm-hmm. And the scuba guy I was on the ship with. So that was, 2 guys.
Yes.
2 reliable sources.
And we got onto our little van and started driving out. And at first it looked fine. Everything was good. It was about an hour and a half drive out to our coastal village, which sounds so much more pleasant than what it turned out to be. But the first sign, our guide was not talkative at all. So unfortunately, one of the things for me when I travel is to really learn about the country. And he did not give us any information unless we asked. So we got 2 tidbits of information. We did drive through one iffy part of town, which was a little disconcerting. Yeah. But I did find that for us, the people were all friendly. They waved constantly. They were all very friendly, waving at us. Everyone was waving back. I did hear from several other tours, at least the 2 other tours, that people were actually coming up to the bus and reaching in. Another person I actually just talked to this morning said that her husband had his camera, his iPhone right there, and someone reached in and tried to grab it.
Oh my God.
And yes, so I did hear that. So
Okay.
this is,
All right. Well,
and he had a good hold of
lesson
it
for the future.
Yes, so
Okay.
we did not have that much of a problem. Nobody came up to our bus or van. Nobody was grabbing at our windows. So I guess
Okay.
we were in a fairly secure area.
Okay.
It just, you could see the extreme poverty,
Yeah. Yeah.
which makes us feel very lucky for coming back to this ship.
Agree. And comparatively, you're in a nice van.
Comparatively, yes, for some of the other trucks with people just smushed in going to work.
Yeah, I saw people on the backs of pickup trucks. And some of the buses, they just, looked a little run down. So, yeah.
About an hour into our beautiful drive,
Mhm.
which was still fine, we all got pulled over. Every single vehicle got pulled over, not just ours. And we had 5 in our convoy.
5 vans.
5 vans.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were convoying together. And every other vehicle was stopped, and they were checking. I'm not sure what all they were checking, but it was a checkpoint. And our van was fine, but of the 5 vans, one of the drivers was either his license wasn't readable or something was going on with the driver's license. So we all stopped.
Okay.
And our driver and guide got off, and nobody really told us anything. We're sitting there in the sun, in the heat.
I'm laughing, but I would have been horrified.
It was, Will. We just stood there and waited.
Spoiler alert, nobody died.
Nobody got, no.
Okay,
No.
so, all right.
And we
keep
were
going.
probably there for 45 minutes plus. Finally, one of the other guides came in and said, well, the driver was not approved, and we're going to take people from one of the vans that the driver was not able to drive and move them into the other 4 vans because we have a little bit longer to go. And it's like, well, how far is a little bit longer? 30 minutes. And we're thinking, well, we're already pretty crushed in, but fine, we'll move. About 5 minutes later, they're all loading up and we're all driving off again. So what happened? Oh, he paid. So we think there's some bribery going on in this
Maybe.
country.
It could be.
It could be, or maybe he just expired and he paid and it was fine there.
Exactly.
But we did have a lovely lady on our bus who entertained us all, and she actually learned every single person's name on the bus and kept us all. Our bus van was in good spirits. I heard there was kind of mutinies on other bus vans. So we had a very good van. We went through it. 30 minutes later or so, we got to our destination, the coastal village, where our guide promptly left us.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Now, I think you were the one that told us how many tours came through, or cruise lines came through.
Yeah, we had heard that the port had only received 3 cruises in the last year.
Yeah,
So the infrastructure's not there. The organization, they really don't have it figured out. So,
yeah,
and let's face it, I mean, how many tourists are going to PNG? So,
right.
yeah.
Right. So, we're going to excuse. There were people out there, the tourism industry or whatever was out there trying to get feedback. Another lady I was traveling with on this one, we started just walking around. We walked to the edge, to the coastal village. There was long over the water houses.
House is a strong word.
House is a strong word. They were wooden built structures that you walked out on these fairly rickety piers with lots of space between the boards. There are certain areas I didn't walk down because I didn't think I could make it.
Yeah.
They're inside the houses. They had one with a restroom that people could use, and I did discover that it was just a hole going directly into the water.
Gosh.
Right at the edge of this water, the first pier to go out to these houses, it was garbage strewn, the plastic bottles.
Yeah.
But the people there were very happy. I mean, they were fine. They were waving. They were talking to us. I took some pictures, and they were fine with it. I mean, even of the children. We finally found somebody that said, they're doing a song and dance, and they had the whole village out there doing it. And they were very joyful.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a very happy group of people in this coastal village.
Now, I think this was Good Friday.
It was Good Friday.
So it was a holiday, a holiday weekend, and the kids weren't in school, so they were celebrating. I think.
They were.
Yeah.
There was a big church service going on in the other
Okay.
place that could have been where we should have used a facility. I'm not sure if that was better because during the whole hour and a half that we were there was a very loud service going on,
Oh.
which was quite nice. I mean,
Yeah.
they were all together.
But you want to be respectful. You don't
Exactly.
want to be, distracted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all out there in full force celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very nice. And at the end, right at the point we were leaving, they all came out and they were all talking and they sang us goodbye.
Oh.
So it was a very unique experience. I am glad I went. I am glad I got to see that
Mm-hmm.
and experience it and
So
enjoy it.
You took some pictures of a little girl. I thought it was so smart. Linda told me before that you actually asked her mother
Right.
if it was okay, which I think is really important. I mean, you shouldn't just take pictures of people without asking. Now, did you give them money to do that?
I did. I handed her a couple dollars, the
Okay.
family, and I also during the performance,
Mm-hmm.
I went up to the group leader and gave her about $10.
Wow.
Just because I knew they
Oh.
needed it more than I did.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
The performance was cultural?
It was. It
Mhm.
was. They actually had a boat. We got there because our tour guide did not tell us where to go. But the tourism director did start leading us over there. And it was after they did some of the talk. So I didn't quite understand it, but they did have somebody with a little boat. And it was more the children. I think it was probably up to maybe 20 years old that were singing and dancing. So I didn't understand really the significance of it, but it was
Right.
definitely cultural.
And it looked beautiful.
It was.
I was a little jealous that I didn't go, but I don't know. I might have freaked out during the bus ride too. I wonder as we travel, are we going to see more things like that or less things? I guess PNG was the only place that the State Department really told us to be hyper vigilant or just not even go to. But the other places it just says be aware of your surroundings.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
we're in pretty good situation
Mm-hmm.
for the rest. Sri Lanka, Indonesia,
Mm-hmm.
and Africa. I think
We'll
but
see.
you never know. We're going to have, definitely keep our fingers crossed.
Yep.
But I think we're still going to see some more extreme conditions.
So that'll be eye-opening for us.
Right,
So,
right.
yes. All right. Linda, thanks so much.
Well,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
add all your pictures to this. I think, I actually have a cousin who used to work for Papua New Guinea Airlines.
Wow.
She was the chief operating officer for them. Now, she hasn't worked for them for probably at least 20 years that I'm aware of, probably longer. I wonder if tourism was peaked at that point and then, plummeted. They probably had some political things. I guess a person should research this. If only I had a tour guide. That would tell me these
If
things.
only. The only other interesting thing is they were under Australian rule for 60 years.
Okay.
They've had some other rule before that, and then they did get their freedom. And one of the big things that I learned was Australia never wanted to have them under rule because they didn't feel comfortable being a colony either.
Oh.
So they did give it up, and they were given their freedom, but they still actually have England. They're still under
English? They're a part of the Commonwealth?
yes, they are.
Oh.
They didn't want their complete freedom.
Ah. Well, they probably need support.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all for today. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you next time. See you later. If you'd like a postcard. Today's postcard, actually, we have one going out today, is going to my friend Kathy in Maryland. She's in my book club. So she's, Kathy, I got a nice postcard to send you, and it'll probably come to you by way of Indonesia. So that's exciting.
New stamp.
Yeah. I wonder if the stamps probably aren't messed. What I do when I mail the postcards almost every time, I just take it down to the desk at the, at the ship, and they mail it. It's only $2.
Oh, that's good.
So they
That's a
put the
good
stamp
deal.
on it, and they take care of it. So yeah, the stamps aren't matching the postcard,
Oh, well.
which is even more interesting, I think. Yes. So if you want a postcard today at gmail.com.
I'm gonna have to sign up when I get off and you continue.
I think you should.
I will.
Guess who added to the list today? A little preview.
Tell me.
Stacy from Louisiana.
No, Stacy did?
Yes.
Oh, my Stacy?
Yes.
Yay.
Yes, Flat Stacy signed up. So, yes.
I'm so
have a new
excited.
subscriber. It's very exciting.
I am so excited.
Yeah, I got it this morning. So, all right, Stacy, watch out. You're coming up. But
Oh.
we've got 5 or 6 people before. So, all right.
Okay.
Okay, this is really goodbye. See ya.
Bye, thanks.